Big topics to discuss in today's ALGS video. Not too terribly much has gone on in the last couple of days, but when you combine every little thing over the last 3 or 4 days or so, we do have a good bit to dive into and discuss in today's video. Plus, not only Esports World Cup, also ALGS Challenger Circuit and the implications that this has. Some of these new rosters coming about, some other rosters finally announcing their official split up, not just with the organization, but the team players as well. So first off, let's dive into Meet 2.0. TeQ obviously made this mention a couple of days ago. We already covered this. It was going to be TeQ, Panders, Alberlelli, Rambo, but it's technically TeQ, Alb, and Rambo. Panders as the sub/coach, if you will. Well, of course, you know, I think on paper we all like this, right? Once again, JMeyels saying on paper, I just got to sometimes because yes, it makes sense. We've seen these guys play in the past and we like these players as OGs, but will they actually make or do any damage whatsoever? Well, let's take a look at Challenger Circuit because it has been underway this weekend and we do have some teams showing up in a pretty big way. So first off, let's talk about Ping Wingman, right? This is the Kuzme. The Kuzme's team has been doing solid for quite some time. When this team first got together, right, and we saw Dig Vibes come together with Kuzme winning Challenger Circuit #1 a couple years ago, I knew that this team had potential. I really love Dig. Obviously, both of these guys I actually knew a little bit better than like the rest of the Challenger Circuit scene. So I was happy to see them not only just do decent over time, but now winning in semifinals, looking really strong for those guys. So interested to see how this progresses over the next couple of days. Well, really today, because today is finals. ACP in second with Awans and Crab. Obviously, we know these guys. Many others as well. FSC with Charmander. You've got Mav with Purple Slushy back in here as well. Number 4 with Bullet L, by the way. Bullet's finding his way back into the scene once again. And Fury in 5th with Silent, HNL, Avexes, and Detox. Obviously, all these guys pretty well known. Same can be said for ICBM, right? You've got Hyzek, Rambro on the same team. Oversleepers over here as well in the top 7 going into the finals with Vaudry. No Limits up there as well. Rice up there with RJ Proficiency. We know these guys also going into the finals today. And Mainframe. So very big congratulations to these guys. Breber's been kind of grinding for a while now. Happy to see that. However, you do have some upsets with this. Ava, Janie not making it into finals. I think there was another team in here as well. But, you know, besides the point, here's what you do have. Then you go into semifinals group number 2. Meet absolutely crushed it. So you've got TeQ, but it's Panders and Rambo. So not really sure exactly what the original tweet was pointing towards, saying that it would be Panders on the sub/coach. But Alberlelli was not playing into this one. It was TeQ, Panders, Rambro crushing it, first place, looking solid. And I'm very excited to see what this team does in today's finals, because I think they're definitely one of the more favorited teams. But I think we all want to see them compete on the big stage once again, whether it be Pro League, whether it be LCQ for champs, or, you know, whatever. So here is the official way or format that this works. So the teams that were relegated from Split 2 Pro League, you could see their arrow goes down to the championship LCQ. Split 2 playoffs, also those that didn't make it will go to the championship LCQ. Also Challenger Circuit 2, which is from May to August of 2024, right? You're going to have those specific teams will also be making it into the championship LCQ. So all of these games are important because, of course, they will lead into ALGS champs. And I think you have normally 2 teams coming out of LCQ that make it, or that's what it was last year for each region, right? North America, you had, well, not always each region, but North America specifically was 2 teams. You had Dojo, and I believe you also had Disguised, the old Disguised with Duplex in them. So interested to see how it all falls into place, of course. But you did have Meet in first place for this group and going into the finals. Then you also had Spade Esports with Bofer and Awakening. You had Pure with Sang and Vosky. You had Don't Give a Piss with Golden and, you know, Shinny and James Fearless. Then you also had Status Quo, 5-star, E-Kittens with Cody. So a lot of these teams are obviously known. Some upsets to mention here going into the finals. Din Pride did not make it. You had Euban and Yaz not make it. You had S2's Void not make it. So a lot of, you know, well-known teams, well-known players did not make it. And then going into finals, your following teams: Ping Wingman, ACP, FSC, Purple Slushy, Fury, ICBM, Oversleepers, No Limits, Rice, Mainframe, Meet 2, Spade Esports, Pure, Don't Give a Piss, 5-star, Status Quo, E-Kittens, Dead Butt, Brown, and Red 40. So interested to see these finals take place tonight. Also wanted to make mention of some of the roster updates in the Pro League itself. Of course, these are big because you do have teams that are still fighting their way back into champs, whether it be by way of LCQ, finding a team last minute for Challenger Circuit, teams that are trying to get you know, new players for Pro League, or not even Pro League at this point because it's over obviously, but championship, the World Championship, people are still making a little bit of swap here and there. But what does this actually imply, especially for some of these teams that are breaking up, like Oxygen Esports? So Oxygen did part ways with their players, kind of said that their future in the scene was undetermined. However, we did not know where the players specifically would go. Would they stick together? Would they still try to, figure it all out? Or would they go in their own separate ways? Well, Vayne and his teammates also kind of came out to kind of confirm that that would not be the case. They will be splitting apart. They will be going their own ways. Vayne said, on to a new chapter. Aidan also said, looking for a team for ALGS Pro League experience on all roles and don't want to anchor anymore. Also, you had Frex already confirm this, saying we'll be looking for a team for LCQ and the future this way. My first time obviously was not qualifying for a LAN, and I'm not missing another one, so DM me. This guy is serious. Interested to see where all of this goes as well. One team that a lot of players and fans have questions for is Native. Obviously, we're confused on what's going on here because Rambo obviously showing that he's with Meet 2.0. Of course, RKN, we're kind of like, is he going to step back again? Is he going to like continue to compete? I don't really know. Many people think that he might just step down, step back, step away. That would leave Snipe down, and what happens to Snipe? Obviously playing in Pro League, not getting where they needed to be. Is Snipe going to try it again at the LCQ? Is he going to try it again, to go to the Challenger Circuit route? Or is he also going to, he did make mention, I think months and months ago, that potentially if he didn't get a deal, if he didn't get the, the offer that he wanted, that he might just kind of part ways with Apex Comp. So I'm not sure exactly what Snipe is going to do. We haven't seen any real activity on his Twitter over the last couple of days, so it obviously is a decision-making time for some of these players, and obviously we'll keep you updated here as well as things do unfold. Also wanted to make mention of the Esports World Cup. Don't forget, what's crazy is the Esports World Cup is literally not this coming up weekend, but the following weekend. So we have some very important games to attend to. First off, you've got your Block 2 scrimmages. It was DMS going in first place, Team Falcons in second place, Crazy Raccoons in third. Obviously that's the former Reject Winity with their old roster change with Justa. GK Esports in fourth, FaZe Clan in fifth, Fiddle in sixth, Guild, Twisted Minds, and Gaming Gladiators TSM in the top 10. Your Reject Winity in 11th, which was former Crazy Raccoon. And then of course you go down the line, GHS Professional in last, Disguised in last, Makers and Pioneers in 17th and 18th. So very interested to see how these groups play out. Obviously, this is a big group stage match. You've got 20 teams in a group, not 10 teams in a group, and cross-playing the groups. This is one group playing each other. We'll talk about the format in just a second as well, just in case you forgot. But TSM was in first place in the next set. Mizuchi in second, Space Station in third, Alliance in fourth, HAO, Northeption, Elevate, Dragons, Weibo Gaming, Navi in 10th. So interested to see how that group goes as well. Then the actual format, once again, just in case you guys needed to be refreshed on it, you're not sure how it works, the top 9 teams in the group stages will advance to the finals, right? So it's basically already round 1 of the bracket, I guess you could say. Top 9 teams will go to the finals. The 10th through 19th place teams will go to the last chance, basically loser bracket. 20th place of each group are eliminated, and then the last chance, which is basically the loser bracket, the top 2 teams will advance to the finals instead of like the top 10 like ALGS, and 3rd through 20th will be eliminated. Finals will be August 4th. The 20 teams remaining will compete in match point format. The first team to hit 60 points and then secure first place. So the match point is now 60 instead of 50. And basically you got to, win your match after you hit that. The remaining teams will be ranked by total points awarded in the series. So the 18 teams that are advancing, they're kind of taking the ALGS route. The 18 teams that are advancing from the winner side of it, or the group stage, will start with advanced starting points based on their placements of the winners bracket. So normally last year in ALGS, you had this system, and it was the top 10 would get those final placement advanced points. So it was like 10 points for first place, 9 points for the second seed, 8 points for the third seed, and so on. I don't really like that system personally, but it is what it is. That's the system that they're going with. I do think it's still competitive. I do think it's somewhat fair. I think 18 though was a little weird. Now they did up the match point to 60, so I guess it kind of works itself out. It's going to make it to where the last place team is really going to have to work their way into that victory. But $600,000 on the line for first place, $375,000 in second place, $200,000 in third. It goes on, and you're going to actually be getting prizes all the way down in dead last. So literally you get paid just to actually be there. 40th place gets $2,000. So not obviously the craziest money, but it is I guess it is an incentive to know that you're going to get paid regardless. Now, the real hefty good prizes, I guess, kind of stop after 8th place. So it goes from 55K down to 40K, down to 30K, 26K. Obviously, those aren't bad, but I think obviously they're trying to hit this top 5. Top 5 is really, really where it's at. Top 9 is kind of somewhat where it's at. Interested to see how it all falls into place, though. Also, just as we wrap it up, kind of want to make mention of some more like concepts going around and some teams not getting supported like we still wanted them to see. All the drama's been going on with Apex lately and EA and all this, you know, cheaters taking over the game is dying, all this stuff, blah blah blah. Well, then you've also got comparisons to the you know, Call of Duty World Championship, right? These teams have had this support for a while now. There is a franchise league, so I guess like you kind of expected a little more. But these teams obviously have their in-game skins. They have their own, not only, you know, your character skins, but you've also got your weapon skins as well. So a lot of people like to, you know, and they've also got calling cards and emblems and stuff. So a lot of people like to buy and support their favorite teams in Call of Duty. I've actually done this for the past couple of years because I do like to watch. I like Optic Gaming. I like, you know, I used to like the Florida Mutineers before they changed, whatever, but I like the colors. So I've bought this stuff quite a bit of times. However, why don't we have that for Apex? Of course, that is still to be determined, I guess. I feel like it's so easy. I mean, this is a concept created by a 3D artist, Frosty, who shows you can have a TSM Bloodhound skin, a TSM Octane skin, Gibraltar skin, Pathfinder skin, Valk skin. I think these look great. I think they probably, you know, who knows how long they took them, but it doesn't seem that complicated. I mean, this guy made 5 skins and posted it on Reddit within a short amount of time. And I know that if he can do it, an Apex developer can make this happen as well. And I don't know. I mean, I know it's not the developer's fault. It's more so the EA approval type thing. I don't know why this isn't happening, though, because it definitely feels like we are missing some kind of support in this game for some of these orgs. But someone did make a great point. Obviously, you can't have this. It's a little bit different. CDL, right? Call of Duty, they got 12 teams that are the pro teams. Then you've got Apex, where it's always interchanging, right? And TSM isn't always, I guess, guaranteed they're going to be in Pro League. What happens then? Is it favoritism if you're giving it to TSM if they don't make Pro League? And I know it sounds crazy, right? We could never imagine a world with Pro League with not having TSM or Falcons or whatever, but they're not under this, like, I guess, special treatment of an invite to Pro League like you would see some of these other teams. They obviously have to compete for it. It's all about performance, and that's what you're seeing right now. Disguised is a part of this whole esports, you know, like you know, the program that EA had, the partnership program. Yet at the same time, despite them being a bigger organization or a bigger team, whatever you want to call it, they did not perform well enough in Pro League to get the invite back, right? They were like 24th or something like that. So that is a scenario you could very well see in Apex. And how do you approach team skins after that, right? Do you just start adding these other organizations that are so small? You can't have 80 different teams, I guess, all getting their own skin. And I get that. But I definitely feel like we do need some more support in the scene. Interested to see what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all things inside of the world of Apex Legends esports. And until the next time, we'll see you all later, Gators.